Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Levi Johnson, and I am the director of the Center for Transformative Undergraduate Experiences here at Texas Tech. And I'm really excited to get to spend a little bit of time with you all today to talk about a new award that we have coming to our undergraduate research conference and the partnership that sparked that new award. And then to give you a little bit of background on things you should be thinking about as you're trying to prepare and be competitive for that award. Just so everybody knows, we've got the Zoom session today set up where you can't unmute or turn on your video yourself. So if you've got questions that you'd like to submit, please enter those in the chat, and then we'll make sure that we get those questions answered at the end of the session. And then also, if you're viewing this as a recording later, no problem. We'll have information to how to submit questions by email. And then both sets of questions, those we answer live today, and then any that we address via email, we'll also post to the presenter information section of our undergraduate research conference webpage. And so please keep an eye on the website, as that'll be a resource as you go forward. Okay. I think I stalled long enough, so we'll get started. So just to give you a quick overview of our plan for today. So first, I'd like to welcome everybody. And then I'll go through just a few basic reminders about the Undergraduate Research Conference itself. Then we've got a special guest from the Lubbock Economic Development Alliance, Ms. Carolyn Rowley, and I'm going to ask her to talk a little bit about the Alliance and the work that it does, and then the partnership and then their investments in the conference and what they'd like to see happen coming out of our new Commercialization Award. Then we've got some experts from the TTU Innovation Hub, and they're actually going to talk you through different aspects of our Discovery to Impact month and the commercialization rubric itself, and help you think through some different things that you're going to want to consider as you prepare to give your poster and compete for those new awards. And then we'll wrap up with some question and answer and make sure that we didn't miss anything. So first, just a couple of reminders. Abstracts are coming up quickly. So the end of the day on Thursday, February the 15th, remember that the abstract submission form is not just the student submission step, but then it routes to your faculty mentor. And so your mentor needs to approve your submission by 5 p.m. on Thursday. And so that's coming up quickly. Then I want to remind everyone that the TTU Undergraduate Writing Center is available for consultations and helping you compose your abstract itself. And the students that participate in that abstract support, they're also entered in a contest specifically evaluating the quality of those abstracts. And so that's an additional award that you can win. And then finally, as you're preparing for the conference in April, don't forget that we tend to have between 400 and 500 students all trying to print posters at the same time. And so if you wait until Monday, April 8th to try to print your poster, you're going to be standing in a long line with a bunch of other folks. And so keep that in mind as you're preparing to print your poster. We've got information about options for cost-effective ways for printing your poster at Texas Tech at different partners around campus on our website. And then if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us and let us know. We're happy to help. Okay, and with that, I'd like to introduce our guest. Ms. Carolyn Rowley is the Director of Retention and Innovation for the Lubbock Economic Development Alliance. And Carolyn has been a phenomenal partner in developing several different aspects of our undergraduate research conference, and has helped spark a lot of the work we've invested in our impact areas. And that's even trickled over to our fall symposium as well. And so Lita has really been a thought partner as we've worked to help undergraduate students think about emphasizing the impact that they're making through their projects. And so this year, I'm excited to have Carolyn join us to talk about a new award for our undergraduate research conference, our Lita Outstanding Commercialization Award. And so with that, I'll hand it over to Carolyn and let her talk about Lita and what they'd like to see happen here.
Great. Thank you, Levi. So yes, I'm with the Lubbock Economic Development Alliance, and our organization's goal is to help companies grow, expand, or start up here. And with all of that, those companies, whether they're startups or large companies, they're creating new jobs for our citizens here in Lubbock. And those are jobs that students can hold as well. So you might be asking yourself, why would an economic development organization want to be involved in research? Well, we believe that your research can impact businesses, or your thought process can. So our goal and the creation of these awards is to try to encourage you to think about your research differently, just a little bit. Can your research solve a problem that is already existing? Or can it improve processes that are already there existing in businesses? It could lead to something even bigger. So we we are excited to partner with Texas Tech. It's really a great opportunity to um, foster this type of research and encourage you to think bigger and think differently, and maybe solve something bigger. Maybe you'll have the next big idea like Gatorade or Nike. Both of those thought through in a university setting, and they were just trying to solve a problem, but it ended up being a company, a startup company. So with that, I want to encourage you to think about your research just a little bit differently, how it might be commercialized, how it could solve a problem, and that my organization, the Lubbock Economic Development Alliance, has dedicated funds for awards for you, should you choose to participate in this track, to award you for your efforts. So we believe as an organization that research leads up to creating more companies. And so with that, we're really excited to partner with Texas Tech, and I hope you think about this opportunity as you begin your projects.
Thanks, Carolyn. Just to add a little bit to what you shared there before we move on to the next section, I want to make sure to kind of signpost this. I should have actually put on the slide. So I believe our largest award for a single presenter to date previously was $1,500. And that was also sponsored by LIDA. And I just can't say thank you enough for the investments that LIDA has made in us and with us over the last several years. Y'all have been a partner since I came to True in 2019, and so my entire journey has really been in partnership with you all, and I really appreciate that. This year, our new Outstanding Commercialization Awards take that 1,500 and go up to 7,500, and so first place is a factor of 5 larger than our previous largest awards, and then they stair step down, and so I believe the smallest commercialization award on the plan is at that 1,500 level or something like that. And so students stand to win significant enough prizes here that we're having to change the tax paperwork that we're using for the awards, and so that's exciting. And so thank you for that. And also just to say, remind everyone, when you're submitting your abstract, that is how you tell us that you're interested in competing for this commercialization award. And so it's important that when you're prompted with the question of, would you like to compete for a commercialization award, that you indicate yes, and then that will allow us to queue you up for that specific review with our commercialization judges. And so if you say no, then you miss out on the chance to win those prizes, and you'll be in a different review pool. That being said, I know that we're getting relatively close to the submission deadline. If you're running across this and you made a mistake and you didn't opt in and you'd like to change that, all you have to do is send us an email at true@ttu.edu and let us know, and we can update that in the back end. And so we want as many students as possible to be engaging with this new award and this new opportunity. And so just keep that in mind, that it's a massive award. We're super excited about it. And if you submitted your abstract and it's already made it through your faculty mentor's approval, and you'd like to opt into this contest, shoot us an email and we can fix that on the back end. Carolyn, any other notes from you before we move on?
No, I think that covers it. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And so next, I will hand it off to Ms. Ryan Bain with the TTU Innovation Hub, and she's going to talk about kind of how they fit into all of this.
Okay, hi everyone. As Levi said, I am Ryan Bain, and I am the program manager for ideation programs at the Innovation Hub at Texas Tech. And so what we do is we launch startups. Next slide, please. So I just wanted to give you all a brief overview while we're here. Most of you probably don't know much about the Innovation Hub. So we had our groundbreaking in 2014, and then We started launching our programs in 2016, and so those are with thanks to our major sponsor, and that is LIDA as well. So they fund all of our programs that we have. We have over 14 programs at the Innovation Hub. Next slide, please. So if you've never been to the Innovation Hub, we are off 4th Street. So this is our home. We are just west of the Health Sciences Center. And so if you see in the middle of the field, it's a building that looks just like all the other tech buildings. And so we have a bunch of tenants here at our building, and then we have conference rooms, and then we host over 14 programs in our multi-purpose rooms. And then a lot of times you'll see students either in our atrium or on the 2nd floor in all of our comfortable chairs studying for exams and things like that. So you can always come over here and check out the space, and we can give you a tour. And then next slide. So along with our 14 programs, we do have some programs that they're obviously always open to all of the students at Texas Tech, as well as faculty and staff. And so we have our next Lunch and Learn, which you can come and learn different topics. Our next one is Marketing Madness from Amy Wood at Flint Avenue Marketing. And so this is an opportunity to come and have free food, and then you get to network and talk to different people that are at the Innovation Hub and within our ecosystem. Next slide. And then we do have our Red Reader Idea Competition. And so these applications are due by March 1st. So it is coming up. But if anyone has an idea for a product or a company, or if you even think that you can highlight your research in 1 minute, we would definitely love for you to apply. All you have to do is make a 1-minute video, and we have 2 different rounds. We will have a video voting round online, and then we will have an in-person round for the first time this year at the Student Union building on campus. And so you have an opportunity. First place, you will win $2,000. So we have first, second, and third place. And again, all of that money is coming from the Lubbock Economic Development Alliance. And so again, make sure that if you think that you have a way to pitch your idea or your research in 1 minute, apply before March 1st. And then next slide. Lastly, I just wanted to talk about our Discoveries to Impact conference. So it used to be a week, which is encompassing the undergraduate research conference that you are a part of. But now it is a month long. And so you can scan this QR code or go to dti.ttu.edu and find all of our events over the whole month. Will you go to the next slide? So this is our weeks broken down. So we have Startup Week, which is April 1st through the 5th. We have the URC and different research things. So it'll be called Research Week, April 9th to 11th. And then we have Engagement Week, which we work with the Office of Outreach and Engagement. So they're April 15th to the 19th. And then lastly, we have Innovation Week, which is April 22nd to the 26th. So we will wrap up everything, and we will have some different events that you can come to, such as each week we'll have keynote speakers that you can come and get free food. And then some events will also have swag that is available. So you are free to come to any of the events other than the undergraduate research conference, and we would love to see you there. And so definitely check out our schedule online. And if you have any questions, you can contact any of us at True or the Innovation Hub. And then, so that's all that I have, but I will introduce our program director, Ganga Bhaskar. She is also at the Innovation Hub, and she will talk about our commercialization award rubric.
Thanks, Ryan. As Ryan mentioned, my name is Ganga Bhaskar. I'm with Innovation Hub. I'm a program director here, and I manage our commercialization programs where we fund startups mostly. So I'm here to give some clarity, some insights into how you can win if you stick to the rubric. So next slide. So here's the rubric, the different categories. To be competitive, you want to aim for the 9 to 10 scale. So all that, if you can follow all that is there, that'll be helpful. But to break it down further, next slide. So what do we mean by proposition development? So this is where you're clearly able to define your project in terms of a product or service. So what does it do? And if you can maybe include pictures or something of a prototype or a solution of the solution that you've come up with, that'll be great. Next, you have to talk about what problem does your solution solve? If you're able to identify the specific problem it addresses and how your solution can directly resolve that problem or identify a need, this creates that link between the problem and the solution. So the more clear you're able to define this, the better scores you'll be able to get. Now, the next one is value proposition, and this might be a little difficult to understand, but here we expect you to be clearly define the benefits and advantages your solution is able to provide over what's already existing. I'll talk about some examples later, but specifically, if there's something in existence, but it's not currently working, how does your project or product or service is better than what is existing? That's what we are looking here to know. And then overall, your presentation, be very enthusiastic, be clear, use a language that's comfortable for you and for others to understand as well. So the more non-technical you're able to explain this without using jargon, or maybe not use overly technical language, is going to be very helpful in making your audience understand your project. And then the next few is about market. So the first one is market identification. Here, who did you create the solution for? That's what we're hoping to understand. Is it a group of people? Is it a specific market? If you're able to identify that very clearly, good for you. And then as for market research, this is about how well do you know your market? Have you spoken to the people for whom you've created the solution, either through interviews or through surveys? If not, are you able to define the global market value of that industry that you're targeting? So that's what we're looking for here. So let's look at some examples. So these are abstracts from last year. The first one is on a smartphone app for a wearable cardiac episode monitoring device. So the highlighted portion, the yellow highlighted portion, is the product. So here they are clearly able to define that it is a continuous heart rate monitoring with multiple modalities, including a wearable ECG, EKG device that has an alert notification system. And the focus of this is to create a smartphone app to collect data from the wearable ECG device and other sensors. So this is because there's increased fatality due to cardiac events around the world. And these timely interventions can reduce those deaths. So that's the problem solution fit in green. And the one in yellow is the product or service that's clearly defined. The next slide, we'll talk about all the value propositions that this product could potentially have. So compared to existing solutions, this wearable EKG device, it can, using artificial intelligence, it can process data in real time. It can accurately and give timely alerts for cardiac events. It reduces the response time in emergencies, significantly improving patient outcomes. So those are the value propositions. And then when you talk about market, this is mostly meant for people who are at a high risk for cardiac events, the elderly, people with lifestyle factors that increase cardiac risk. So this is how you identify your market. As for market research, you could talk to cardiologists, you could interview potential users if you're able to say the percentage of people who would use it or express some sort of qualitative and quantitative analysis, that would be very helpful. Or you could say that the global wearable tech market is expected to reach so much $1 billion by 2025, thereby able to describe a market for that technology. So let's look at another example. Next slide. Here we talk about the use of alginate hydrogel beads during pig transportation. So the problem that this project is hoping to solve is that pigs are exposed to multiple stressors, including feed, water withdrawal, physician assertion, and mixing with unfamiliar pigs. And these stressors, they disrupt the homeostasis of the pig, and it could in turn result in non-ambulatory, non-injured pigs or death. So their product is a pig electrolyte and a glucose source in the form of alginate hydrogel beads that could mitigate transportation stresses. So they've clearly defined what the problem is and what their solution or product is. But what could the value proposition and other market indicators could be? Next slide. So the value proposition here is that it's non-invasive, it's easily administered, and it improves the welfare in pigs during transport. So being able to define this speaks to what exactly are the advantages of this product. As for the market, it's clearly for pig farmers and transporters in the pig industry. And for evidence of market research, if you could say surveys with leading pig transportation companies or define the global pig farming and transportation market, that will be very helpful. So I hope this clears up what is expected in your posters. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Thank you.
Thanks, Ganga. So I got a chat message that I may have messed up something with the video where my head may have been in the way for part of that. So I just want to clarify, I will post a PDF of these slides with the link to the recording. And so if there's anything that's obscured where you can't read part of the text, we'll have those slides there so that you can access that directly. With that said, I want to open it up and see if there's anyone in our audience that wants to submit a question by chat that we can address now live. And like I said at the opening, no problem at all. If we don't have any live questions, we'll be watching our true@ttu.edu inbox. And any questions that we do receive about this commercialization award, we will post the question and the answer to our awards information page on the conference website. And so those answers will be there for everyone to reference. But I do want to give just a couple seconds in case anyone's got a question that they'd like to drop in the chat. While I'm keeping an eye on the chat there for any questions, I did want to expand a little bit on our process. So what we're planning to have happen with our commercialization awards is that those posters will actually get 2 sets of reviews. And so I want to make sure that everyone understands that you should still be referencing our Outstanding Presenter Award rubric on the website in addition to the commercialization rubric. The difference is that if you opt into the contest, you will also be reviewed on the rubric specifically focused on commercialization and the aspects that we've been talking about today. And so it doesn't supplant the other. So you could technically win awards both for being the outstanding presenter in your chosen impact area using our rubric that we've had for several years now. And then you could also win an award for commercialization. And so those students that opt in should expect to visit with a couple extra folks because they will actually have 2 sets of reviewers at the event. We're planning for that to happen in your regularly scheduled session. And so once abstract submission closes and our staff has time to review everything, we will send out our acceptances and shortly thereafter the schedule. And so you'll know the day and time that you've been assigned. And then in that one session, the plan is for you to visit with reviewers for both of those awards if you opt into the commercialization.